Hello guys and welcome to Southron Bannermen, episode 16. I am your host this evening, Ben. This evening it's daytime, but never mind, I'm running with it now. I'm joined by regular host Joe. Hi Joe.
Hello.
Right, we couldn't be joined by Ryan today, he's a little bit busy unfortunately, so we got a far better replacement. Someone who put his performance at Dockside to shame. Rebecca. Hi Rebecca.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
I say you're more than welcome. We shall say Rebecca from the White Walkers channel, who you may have heard on a previous video on this channel. If you're listening to this on the channel, if you're listening to this on the podcast and never seen the Nice White Water channel, that probably means nothing to you. So yay!
And the famous carer of Richard Walker.
Yes.
Yes.
I like to think
he's actually sitting opposite me, and I've just got a little bit of a glare there.
I like to think of the enabler, the person who enables him to tell the story of, Dracarising 5 times in one game.
Who got Dracaris 5 times?
He's like just sort of jumped up and sort of danced around there.
See, and yeah, I got a little bit of a glare there.
Sorry, Gabby.
I do love that the two people in the story are both listening to this and aren't actually involved.
Oh, well, it's got to be a story retold as many times as possible because, I know that Gabby is slowly becoming famous because of this incident. I think people will see Gabby and be like, you're the one that got Dracaris 5 times by Richard Walker. And then she'll just, go and, beat Richard up a couple of times a week just to make herself feel better.
Now, I might be showing my age here, but I can imagine if there's ever This Is Your Life with Gabby, there'll be a moment where the voice will appear, we found someone from your past, and I Dracaris her 5 times.
Richard comes hobbling on with his cane.
Yeah.
Well, we all know that Richard's about 50 years older than everyone else here, right? So
yeah.
I don't know. Is he actually older than me?
I don't know. Ooh. Do you want to disclose your age?
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm fine with it. I've got grey hair on my beard. I'm 32. I'm good.
Richard's older.
Oh, that's all right then. Oof, yes. High fives all around.
34 now. And he has quite a bit of grey in his beard and around his ears. He's starting to go for the grey fox look, I think. Got middle finger.
Anyway, as this is actually a Game of Thrones podcast.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all right. Joe, what are we talking about today?
Well, we are going to be talking about the recently spoiled Euros prizes.
Mm-hmm.
Dockside, that me and Rebecca both went to last week, and a bunch of other English players. And what the hell is going on in the meta at the moment? Because we have no idea, so we're going to try and work it out.
That's not 100% true. We know what the very best option is, and then everything else seems to be a mess.
But do we, though?
Well, yeah, it's true, actually. Do we? I don't know. Yeah, possibly. But yeah. But first, those Euro spoilers, though, for the prizes. I want that playmat.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm quite happy to stand outside the event with a baseball bat and break 120 people's legs to get that playmat.
I'm not sure that that's the best way to go about doing it. I mean, you could just play really well and win one fairly.
I'm not going to break your guys' legs. It's, there's 8 playmats.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't.
I'm happy with one that just says top 8. I'm not that fussy.
I'm trying to work out who it is because that art was spoiled with the Red Viper. I think it was the cover art of the pack.
I have a sneaky feeling it might be a new Ariane.
Yeah, I think it's either Ariane or Ilaria.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean?
Ariane. I said it wrong. The one that allows people to jump in at me.
That is right.
Okay, good. Yeah.
There's not a new Ariane coming out.
There's not? Okay, I thought there might be. I don't know.
Oh, it's meant to be not soon, but in a while. Am I just imagining that?
I'm also wondering if this kit is either not designed for Euros and have kind of used it for Euros, because I think Gen Con's a bit later, isn't it, for North American, or they use the same kit, because they've kind of done a store championship from 2016 of releasing a card that isn't actually out yet as an old time.
It probably is that. They tend to do the same prizes for the same tier of thing, and this is the same tier as the North American Championship.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I did think that might be the case. Because it was a bit weird kind of going, as like it was doing store championship kit, although obviously lots of Aries, awesome.
What artwork that's worse than the original?
Yeah, got to sell them. They're so good. I know I've used free when I've proxied nightmares before.
Yeah, they want proxies, don't they?
Yeah, and yeah, just kind of sitting on these cards, we're going, well, I kind of know they know what they do, but we can't actually use them yet, technically, sort of. But
when's the Red Wedding Plot card supposed to come out then? Do we know here?
Pack 4?
Yeah, I think it's literally a month or so after the event. So not too long. You know, again, it's not eerie, you know, for 3 or 4 months.
It was quite a while, wasn't it?
It was, and you know, it didn't get any better by the time that pack came out.
It's actually a viable card now, but
no
one uses it.
I think people use it, and like I think the most annoying way people use it is they use it to stop me from killing my chud in a minute.
Yeah, that's the best way to use it.
The first time someone did that to me really threw me. I was like, oh crap, that's my claim like not able to die. Like, what do I do?
So the first time I saw that was in even more jankier combo, where the guy did it and then used Marge to raise the strength of the defender so he could boot him out the challenge. To make it unopposed as well, so he could put someone else to the sword. I mean, proper. I was just, my mind went bang. I went, oh my god, the whole way I look at this game has changed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, I mean, it's better. I'm still not 100% sure I'd put more than one Eerie in a deck, so how consistent it'd be.
I think you build around it. Like, I've noticed there's Lanny decks that can use it effectively, because you basically, you put it in, you can afford it, and then you kind of end up in a scenario of, am I playing the defensive? Okay, I now use it every time in the plot phase. Or, I mean, am I aggressive? Okay, I start using it on their chud.
In the Jumpers deck, it's really good with Knave Valor.
Yeah.
So, I've seen that a few times. But yeah, but overall, no, I think it looks a step in the right direction. I think the kit looks really good. I'm not 100% sure about these medals. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm going to be, if I make the top 16, I'm lucky enough, and I don't know if I'm going to be walking around the hall with this medal around my neck.
Well, you get a commemorative coin, so all you got to do is just strap some, like, string to it, and you can pretend that's the medal.
Awesome, okay, there we go. I see it. I tell people don't know that €1 then. Brilliant.
They've done a lot.
I don't know why it's medals. It seems, because they've done medals, and they didn't do medals for Wells, did they? Right.
No. I don't know. Why don't you like them? I think this is quite a nice idea.
Oh, I don't know. I think I just prefer plaque, because that's what they've done with other things. It kind of goes with everything else they've done.
You do get a plaque though if you come second.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah, that's what I mean. It just, because they've done plaques for everything else, it kind of makes sense in my mind to continue on that. I don't know. It just kind of feels like we're back at school, and you know, well
That's
done.
Why I like it. It makes me feel young again.
Well,
so, I'm basically a mum to Richard, so I feel like older than what I am sometimes.
Yeah, it might be an irrational kind of dislike, but it's the only thing I don't like in the kit. The rest of it, tokens for taking away icons is pretty cool. It's nice that they've done that. The plot art looks really, really nice. And the playmat's just gorgeous. The trophy looks nice as well.
Yeah. I really quite like all the prizes. I'd be happy with any of them, to be honest.
and of course, that top 32 deck box, which is my main goal.
I hopefully have secured myself one of them today, because they reduced all of the entries today. Like, there's not as many tickets for every event, and they reduced Star Wars down to 26, and I managed to buy myself a Star Wars ticket.
How many tickets? How many tickets?
No, it's 24, and they're all gone.
Ah, damn it!
It might increase again, but I temporarily bought a ticket. So the current plan is if I make the cut and Gabby doesn't, Gabby will play. If I don't, we both don't make the cut, I'll play. If Gabby makes the cut, then I'll play. Either way, hopefully we end up with 2 deck boxes.
You don't realise how close I was to buying a ticket and quickly eBaying a core set.
I'm just getting Sam Pigden to lend me some decks. I've played the game enough to know at least enough that I'm not going to be my opponent's worst nightmare.
Yeah, can you imagine me turning up? How much you played? I've literally watched a tutorial video this morning.
And then you go on to win the thing.
with the core.
Annoy some people, wouldn't it?
With just core, that'd be awesome. I do love that also this kit and the regional kits that have both just been spoiled quite close to each other. They both seem like a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I think playmat art they've been a lot cleverer with.
Yes.
I'm surprised we haven't seen the Night's Watch art yet, which I feel like will appear at some point.
Worlds, maybe?
Maybe. We've got Nationals as well.
Ah, that's fair. National tends to be something a bit generic, though, doesn't it, normally? Well, it was last year, anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Everything's been quite generic. It's all been nice, even though like the regional kit people are quite torn on as to whether they like Rise of the Kraken or not.
So someone else has bought the regional kit. Are those house cards part of the regional kit? Or are they something they've added in?
The Lannister one?
No, there was someone in America spoiled the regional kit, even after being spoiled. And they had plot cards, and they looked with FFG art on them. So you had like the house symbol that you see on all the generic house cards. Sorry, not plot card, house cards. You had the sorry guys if I don't know. Anyway, you had these house cards, and they had like the symbol that you see on the house cards that come in the core box.
Yeah.
But kind of like in the corner, like the bottom right. And then they had some like normal FFG art in the background, filling up the rest of the card.
I've not seen those.
And yeah. I saw it. I was on in the middle of a night shift, and I was quickly on my phone. I was bored for like 5 minutes before a patient tried falling out of bed. As they do. Yeah, they do, unfortunately. And I didn't have a chance to like message saying, are these just for your regional, or are these for every regional? Because it was weird that they weren't in the other spoil.
Yeah, I imagine it's made by them, but I'm trying to... You'd have to show me.
Okay, I'll see if I can find it while we go on.
It doesn't fit in with, like, them having extra stuff doesn't fit in with the standard kit. They've got all of the stuff filled.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking, but yeah. Anyway, guys, I think the kit's looking great. Obviously, Store Champs kit was great. These two look great. Are we kind of giving FFG OP kits a thumbs up at the moment, or are they still annoyed by all the Games Night kits being a bit?
That's the problem, is that they're doing good stuff in the ones that are yearly, and they're doing crap stuff in the ones that are regular. So it's hard to actually be excited, because especially as these kits are the ones where, apart from Store Champs, you have to do well to get the good stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, so like the Q2 kit with the Brienne, for example, and like the tokens and things like that. Like just the for example, the tokens. It's like you don't get a full set of tokens. You need to win like 3 times to get a set of tokens, and even then you might not get a whole set depending on like who chooses what prizes and things, because you get to choose, don't you? Like the top few players, yeah. And it's just like, I don't know, stuff like that is slightly interesting. And where to get summoned to court? I mean, like, I've never played that plot, and I've already got like 4, and it's like, I don't even know what this is. And just, I don't know, there have been a few questionable choices, I think, in the cards that they're choosing to give out as prize support. Like marching orders as well. Like, who plays that?
Well, Ryan did. He won nationals with it. It was one of those things where it's like, okay, marching orders, a bit obscure, but kind of possibly fair enough. But can they can't do anything more obscure than this, can they? Oh no, they can. It's summons to court. Okay, yeah. Well done, FFG. You showed me. Yeah. It's like, well done, FFG. You showed me up. You're right. You can do something more obscure.
Because there are cards, obviously, that like we're always running out of bodyguards, for example. So any of us providing extra prize support in bodyguards, you're there just for the bodyguards, and just silly things like that. I mean, I'm always running out of time of plenties, like the Valars, competitions, plots like that would be so helpful to have as extra prize support, and they're official as well, so I'm allowed to use them in tournaments. Whereas at the moment, I don't think I've got any plots from tournaments that I'd actually want to use in a tournament. Do you know what I mean? They're all like really silly cards that I would barely ever use.
That kind of annoyed me last week. Dockside is that they said that you can use all art plots, and I was like, great, I don't have any all arts for my plot deck.
Yeah, because all the good ones don't get alt arts, and all the crappy ones that you barely ever use do.
From what I got from the streamer, that you weren't meant to use alt art other cards, though, were you?
No, only plot deck.
And everyone was.
Yeah, I think in the top 16, someone got called up on using an alt art card that wasn't an official FFG one, but I think they just said to replace it with a normal card or something for the cut.
There was the first game that went live on the stream. The commentary was they just struggled because they couldn't work out what half this deck was.
Yeah, like obviously we have the White Walkers channel, and when people play like the alt art, even like just the house cards and then like regular cards in a deck, and I'm sitting there thinking, oh god, what is this person playing? I'm trying to edit a video at the moment, and there's a yellow character card. And it's like, I know they can do a military, I know they've got renown, but I have no idea what this card is. I spent the whole day yesterday trying to figure out what this card is because it's alt art and it's not like an official FFG one. So yeah, alt arts can be fun when you're trying to commentate on them.
Yeah, it's quite one of the things I find that's quite lucky with those is that like Liam's arts is everywhere. So, because he sells them. So at least when it's Liam's art, you're like, yeah, I know what that card is. Like, that's the Nightmares or this. But yeah, sometimes you're going, I have no clue. Especially some of the Eastern European ones where they use like the black and white art. Or like the grey kind of browny black and white art. And I'm just there like, I have no clue what this is even meant to be.
Yeah, I played Driving Out the Car and I got a plot deck and my brain couldn't process it because it had All Art of Valor and Marched. And every time I was looking for my plots, I wasn't clicking what they were. So it was like making it really hard to pick. Because obviously I'm just so used to just linking the images to what the cards are.
Yeah.
Well, someone actually mentioned this to me a little while back, I think it was, and they said that they deliberately use as many alt arts as possible because it throws people off. Because as a player, I'll look at an opponent's board and I'll see the image and I'll quite quickly be able to twig what the card is and what the card does. Whereas if it's an alt art, it takes longer for me to process what it is, and quite often I'll miss things because of the alt arts. Yeah. And I think it is a genuine tactic that some people use just to help throw people off.
Was it Darren who told you this?
I can't remember.
I was thinking that sounds
like the kind of thing Darren would do.
That does sound like something Darren would do.
Oh dear, poor Darren.
But, yeah, he does kind of bring it on himself. So, guys, how was Dockside then?
It was good.
Okay, cool. On to the next topic.
Yeah, it was a great weekend.
Yeah.
How many English players did we have? At least in the Southern sort of group, we had 8 of us.
Yeah. I think there were, because there was a few from the north, wasn't there? There was absolute minimum of 10 British players there. I think, I think we probably made up about a sixth of the field. There was six people in total, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite high, and especially after the first 2 rounds, it was looking pretty UK dominated as well. Because there was a lot of UK players doing really well.
Yeah, the UK group, I think we had, was it 3, Joe, in the top 16?
5.
More than that, 5.
Yeah, 5. God, yeah. Me, you, Ryan, Sam, and Ian.
Yeah. So I think Brits had a pretty good showing while we were there. So.
From what I'm counting, we had about 15 to 20.
Oh, really?
So almost about a third of the field was Brits.
It's pretty impressive, really.
No, that is pretty impressive.
Yeah, Dockside has a good reputation among Britain, and obviously it's very easy to get to, which I didn't realise originally.
Yeah, I really liked the venue as well. It's like there was a little canal, and you have to sort of go down these steps to the side of the canal, and there's like almost like a cave, lying just by the edge of the canal, which was it was quite cool, quite thematic, I felt.
Yeah, well, I got a really nice picture from it, which I might actually use as the banner for this episode, like as for a change, because it's really nice.
Oh, yeah, go for it. Got pretty images.
But yeah, like Utrecht, I was in Utrecht, and it was all just, most things in the Netherlands always seem to be by some water wherever you walk. But like the whole main bit we were walking along in Utrecht was all just by that sort of canal.
Yeah, there were a lot of canals though, wasn't there? So I think didn't they branch out a bit as well in Utrecht, or is that in Amsterdam itself? I can't remember. We got lost so much while we were there.
Amsterdam is a lot more of them.
Yeah, we one night we decided to go home a little bit earlier so that we could get a good sleep. And it took about 2 hours to get home when it should have taken us about 15 minutes.
I think I remember this on Facebook. Didn't you jump on the train, think it was the wrong train, got off and found out it was actually the right train?
Yeah.
Well, that was the first night. The second night was worse.
What? How did you do worse than that?
So that was with trains. The second night we had to get the bus.
Oh.
Well, we were trying to get the train, but the trains were cancelled. And then we ran to catch a bus, but the bus literally just pulled off as Dan reached the back of it. And then we found another bus, which we had to wait like half an hour for, sat on that bus, and at some point we realised that we was about to go onto the highway, and we were like, this is definitely wrong. So I ran to the front of the bus, and he was like, yeah, you've gone way past it. He like had to flash another bus that was coming towards us. We all jumped out, run around to get in the bus. Dan nearly get hit by a car that was trying to overtake the bus that just stopped in the middle of the road. And it was all very dramatic. I think we must have spent about 6 hours more travelling than what we should have done.
Yeah, nice. It was quite crazy.
Yeah, like we are not a good group for finding our way.
It wasn't as easy as I expected it to be. Like, usually you just kind of Google and go, okay, go from there to there, that's fine. But, like, all of the train cancellations made it impossible.
Yeah.
And the buses weren't really obvious. It wasn't like just going, okay, to that station, great. We didn't know any of the bus station names near us.
Interesting day.
So there's definitely advantages to going to Stehleck, where you're literally in the one town you can possibly be in.
Oh yeah, if you get lost at Stehleck, you've done something wrong. You are also really very drunk, so it's very possible.
I've not been to Stehleck, but from what I've heard, I basically just need to find the hill and the castle, and then I'm sorted.
You all you got to do is walk through the street, look up, turn in the circle. You'll probably spot the castle. Walk in that direction.
Sounds like a plan to me. Can I give a shout out actually to everyone that helped raise funds for me and Richard, the White Walkers, to get to Stehleck? We managed to hit our target, so we're going to be going to Stehleck for the first time this year. Hopefully going to be able to record a few games. So yeah, just want to say thanks for everyone that bought things from us. So it really helps. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. And no, thank you.
And if you'd like to donate and help me and Ben get to Stehleck, you can follow our PayPal link at the bottom of the episode.
I have to sell all my stuff to go.
Unfortunately, I'm going to need quite a bit of money to bribe my daughter into forgiving me for not being there for her birthday.
Yeah, I could
take her with you. Get her a Game of Thrones corset for her birthday.
Now, funny should mention this. There's the My Little Pony roleplay game that's just come out. I have considered buying it for her.
I have heard that the MLP card game is actually good. It's just screwed by the perceptions around it.
I have heard it's very good. It's slightly complicated until you're kind of 10, 12, which might be looking at the wrong demographic.
Yeah.
Well, unless you want the bronies anyway. But I'd also say so I watched most of the stream for Dockside. I couldn't watch the top cuts out of work on the second day, but I'd like to thank them for putting Richard in the Night's Watch Winter Mirror match, which is one of the most painful games I've ever watched.
I think it's one of the most painful games that Richard's been in, actually. So
I didn't know he was on stream.
Oh yeah. They actually apologised for it at the end of the first day, where they went, because someone asked, how did you pick the games? And they went, well, what we did was we looked at this top third, went, what game's going to be interesting? And it worked, except for the Night's Watch Mirror match, which was a big mistake, and we're sorry.
Yeah. They seemed quite screwed in the top four, because it was like, what do we want to watch? Do we want to watch Stark Filthy Mirror match, or do we want to watch Night's Watch Wall Mirror match?
I said to the guys, I do not want to be streamed in any of my games, because I get really nervous, and I was on some weird, bizarre winning streak, and I was like, I don't want to throw me off. And then
says the YouTuber.
They were like, okay, so the Night's Watch Mirror match is going to be horrendous, so you have to be on stream. I was like, no! And then I was lost both my games. I was like, thanks, guys. Thanks.
So you don't like being on stream. Says the YouTuber.
Yeah, but that's never Rebecca's games.
Yeah, I don't normally put my games on. I try to avoid it where possible, unless someone's requested to see like a specific deck, and then I'll take the hit and play.
See, I always find it's really boom or bust if I record myself, especially if I do it the first game. My record in tournaments if I record in the first game is either I go on and do really well, or I completely crash out and lose every game. And I'm not even joking. There is literally no middle ground. If I record a first game, that's what happens. And so I try not to now because it puts too much pressure on me.
Yeah.
I think I've just become immune to the camera at this point. Like, I think going to like so many Southern tournaments where you're always recording Ben now, like White Wolf is recording. I just like, oh, is the camera okay? I just play.
I'm looking forward to the Bristol.
Sorry.
So I'm looking. Also, I've seen you.
No, go on.
I was just saying, I'm looking forward to the Bristol Regional where there's a chance there'll be 5 cameras.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll be taking ours. I guess you'll have yours, Ben.
I'm taking 2 because I'm live streaming as well.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying live streaming and I need some actual content for the channel. So I'll have 2 cameras. Darren said he might bring his, and obviously Liam will be recording.
I didn't know that Darren did recordings.
He's practicing. He's mostly going to do an L5R channel when that comes out.
Right.
Funny enough, I don't know if you've heard, he's quite into it.
Yeah, I did know that. Yeah, I think I realised when he contacted me, I was like, "Oh, can you do the art for my channel?" I was like, "Okay, I don't know anything about L5R though."
I do love he went for was it Troll 5R, the most apt name he could have had.
He chose it. He was very, very specific what he wanted in his art. He wanted a cherry blossom tree with 2 trolls underneath and Troll 5R. I was like, right, that's what you're getting. Make it pink. I could troll him back. So I enjoyed making it very, very pink.
Troll him, but I love it. He got trolled with his own logo. Awesome. So what are the takeaways from Dockside then? Any kind of memorable matchups? Don't want to go into too many details because you guys play like 9 games. I imagine it kind of goes into one after a while. But,
I guess there was I had a lot of tough opponents in the day. I know I think it was round 4 I played Ryan, and I'd won my previous 3 games, and I was thinking, oh my god, I've got Ryan, that's it, the day's over. And in the game, I think it was like plot 3, and he played I think it's Clash of Kings or something like that. And I looked at his board and I said, "You're going to win this turn," and he was like, "Yep, that's a plan." And I was like, "Oh crap!" And I was like, "Okay, I'll go first." I still needed like 7 powers. I was like, "I'll just go first and try and slow him down." And then I managed, I can't even remember how I managed it. I somehow managed to get up to the 15. And I was so excited and like overloaded. I got so emotional, like this stupid woman that I am. And Ryan was like, "Do you want a hug?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm so happy." It was so embarrassing. Like the main girl that was running it, Asha, she was looking at me and she was like, "Oh, she must have lost." And Rich was like, "No, she won." She's like, "Why is she crying?" I was like, "Oh my god, I'm really happy." It's so embarrassing. So yeah, so I was quite happy with that. It was a bit of a traumatic game, but I was very happy at the end. Oh, and then I came up against Hamas and he just smashed me, and I was like, "Oh, that's that."
So yeah, back to normal. Okay, thanks guys.
Yeah, like back to reality. Yeah. No, it's I had some insane matchups. I had obviously like Ryan, UK champ. I had Tamas, who went on to win the whole thing. I had Donovan, who I think won a previous Stehleck or something. Like I had LaPlante, who's like the fresh national champion, and I was like, "Oh, why am I getting all these players? Like, give me someone easier, please." But no, it's an insane day. How was it for you, Joe? I know it's obviously quite far behind me on the rankings and that.
Yeah, it was pretty full on. Like the realization is that every round we kind of all of us were gathering up and we're going, okay, we're all about the same score. So we're all just sat there going, oh god, at least one of us is getting paired this round.
Yeah.
So
Ryan got paired against like 4 British people or something, didn't he?
I'm looking. Yeah, I got paired against 4 British people as well.
Oh,
I realised.
Okay.
No, he did as well. Like we all
No,
quite
both,
got.
right.
I got George, Sam, Ryan, and you.
Yeah, I had Ryan, you, and then in the top cut I had Ian.
Yeah.
But I think I just had the 3 British players in total, so not quite so bad for me.
Yeah.
But so I don't know if it gives spoilers away if you want to hide central information for Euros around the corner, but what made you pick Stark?
Richard.
Brilliant. Okay.
I'd taken Targ to the Davos Invitational and did a pooling, and I was very, very down about it, and I said, okay, I'm not playing Targ, I normally play Targ, I'm not playing Targ, I'm very frustrated, rah. And I said, I'm going to play my Stark Line deck, I'm going to play Black, Boy King Backfish, because I enjoy that deck, and I'm not expecting to do well with it, but it's fun when it pulls it off. And Rich was like, no. I was like, but it's fun. He was like, if you do that, you're not going to win enough, and you're going to get sad because you don't win anything. And I was like, fine, well, what would you say? And he said, well, because of the meta at the moment, he was predicting that there'd be lots of Tyrell, there'd be quite a lot of Targ, like using all the new cards and things, maybe a bit of Night's Watch. And he said that Stark is a good faction, but it'd be better to go with Stark Fealty because of all the things that Stark has to sort of counter all the horrible stuff and all the annoying events that the predicted main chunk of the factions would have, which I agreed with. I said, yeah, that's a good idea. And then I was like, we run Minstrels, and he was like, no, that's the wrong type of deck, Rebecca. So please take them all out. And I think I sulked for about 10 minutes after that. And no, he gave me very, very good advice on what I should put in. And it's, to be honest, it's a pretty standard Stark deck. There's a couple of extra little surprises in to throw people off. But it just stops you from doing the stuff you want to do, and it just seemed to work on the day. I came up against a massive variety of different factions. I think I played pretty much every faction apart from Barrow, because there's only one there. But yeah, I was really, really happy with how it went, and I went out in the top 4 against Donovan on camera, and I played him earlier in the Swiss, and I managed to win that one, and then the next day we had the top 4, and I was like, I don't feel as lucky today. I went into the game, I was like, I'm not as lucky today, and that was that. But it was just interesting because it was just that Stark matchup, the mirror match, that I really struggled with. And then the only other game I lost was against Hamas, who went on to win the whole thing, and he's playing Night's Watch, and again that was one that I struggled a little bit against. So yeah, so that's why I went with Stark. It just seemed like a good meta call at the time.
There is definitely a element of Stark just being able to go, you can't do anything you want to do.
Yeah.
With Cat and Winterfell and Bran, those 3 cards can just shut down so much.
Yeah, and that was the idea. It's just stopping anything from, any of the annoying rush that Tyrell might have. When it was against another Stark deck, I could use Winterfell to stop. For example, if they had fast Eddie, it stopped him from giving the extra powers out and things. So it was just a really fun deck to play, because it stopped your opponent doing the stuff they wanted to do, but still allowed you to, pull off some tricks and be naughty with it. So
yeah, and you still have enough rush, don't you? That's the thing. So you can sit there denying them. Then when you get the pieces together, you can just win the game. Yeah,
that was the idea.
Yeah. No, it's I've been playing a bit of Stark myself because recently, and it's actually been quite refreshing because people haven't been playing them as much. Well, they are now, but they weren't playing them as much, and it's quite nice to kind of going back to almost core fundamentals of Winterfell's a good card, Cat's a good card.
Yeah,
just good cards.
Yeah, because I don't know why, but Stark just sort of fell off the radar for a bit, didn't they? And I think now with the amount of events that are going on and the amount of little tricksy things that people are pulling off, Stark is becoming more and more viable just because it stops people from, doing all the annoying stuff, basically. So
yeah.
Again, like other factions, there's no reason really why they dropped off. They just fell out of favour. Like the decks that did well on the Stark, or the ones I expect to do well, are basically the same as the Stehleck list.
Pretty much.
It's just lockdown, right?
Yeah.
I'd sat for a while beforehand expecting Stark to come up, but I was just waiting for it to happen. Like I kept trying to play it and not having much luck.
Yeah.
Go on.
I was going to say, it kind of felt like when we were all waiting for Tyrell to kind of come back up. And it just seemed to take a while, and some people seemed to cotton on to Tyrell were good, really good all of a sudden, and were doing well. And it just seemed like... And there was... Because I remember, what was it, Spain, where everyone was so shocked that Tyrell were doing well. And it's like, well, actually, hang on a second, no, I've been playing Tyrell for 2 months. Tyrell's a ridiculously strong deck right now. What do you mean that everyone's so confused by this? And I feel Stark is almost at that point as well.
Yeah, it's causing me a bit of concern at the moment, because I don't know how many people are going to be cotton on to it for Euros.
More people now from this podcast, though, eh?
Yes, all of our listeners.
Yes.
Taking Targ then, Joe, to Euro.
I'm considering it based on why I expect to Stark. I'm trying other decks out, but I'm not. Well, I've posted my list, and currently there's a very good chance I'll be taking exactly the same list to Euros, because going by the amount of times I've played it, I do well with it because I know the deck rather than because it's a good meta core.
Yeah.
And that can be one of the things. Sometimes it's better playing a deck that's slightly less optimal, but you know exactly what every card does, and you can almost, especially on those long tournaments, you can play it almost on autopilot by the end, when you're not making some mistakes, not having to think as hard. Whereas sometimes teching for the meta can be bad because you're just not playing a deck you're as familiar with.
Yeah.
I think I was quite lucky with the Stark because I didn't practice it at all. Like I made it on like the Thursday night, and then I think I had like 1.5 games on the Friday, just casually in the place we were staying. But I think because I've played Stark a lot previously, you know, I had a good idea of what I needed to do with it, so I was okay. But yeah, I think a mix of it being an okay deck, but I think more of the meta call, I think it worked, which is how it sort of helped me to get through the day.
I guess that kind of moves on fairly well to talking about the meta as a whole, because obviously didn't just have Dockside that weekend. You also had was it Storming the Starpike, I want to say, in America?
Yeah.
Which had 49-ish players. And obviously Barra in both of them was just the least represented faction. Between both events, you had over 110 players, there was 4 Barra players.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that is just bonkers. If you go back a month or two, I'm not saying Barra are the most represented, but they've always kind of been that third choice, and they're that really good faction of, I can just stop you doing what you're trying to do. A bit like Stark are doing now.
Yeah, Barra was like insanely popular just a couple of months ago. I mean, me and Richard went to a few tournaments, and Barra was quite prevalent. And I mean, there was one tournament, me and Richard got into the final, we were both playing Barra. It was a Barra off.
Oh, that's never fun.
No, it wasn't particularly. But yeah, so it's insane how quickly Barra's disappeared. I guess it's because like a lot of people started getting that location hate, you know, and started fighting against it. But then the location hate sort of died off a little bit now, but Barra's not quite fixed, I think, maybe, and not come back as much. Also got the rush as well with Tyrell, which isn't helping with Barra.
Well, the thing is, if Barra, if they can stop that rush in the first couple of turns, it's generally it can be quite a favourable matchup. And that's been my experience against Tyrell Rush playing Barra. You know, shock horror, guys, I play a lot of Barra. If I can shut them down early on, then it's not hard, because once you take out their rush option, there is no real plan B for that deck.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like you need to get that set up as soon as possible. And with Barra, it's not that easy to get like your Mail and your Chamber and your Iron Throne and your Red Keep set up on turn 1. You know, if you can get that, that's amazing. But it would, you know, take a little bit of doing. And by the time you've got all the pieces set up that you need and got enough lore characters in hand to keep people knelt, you know, your Tyrell matchups probably sort of rushed ahead to an insane amount. They can win on 2 if they wanted.
And that is definitely true. And obviously Tyrell does have quite a few good counters, especially if they've got Randall out, because he can just stand with a strength buff. So, you know, you'd kneel him, it doesn't really make a difference. But the other thing I find is there's games where I look back at Barra games I've played since kind of the Valor meta, because that's where I kind of the divide, I think, in the meta that makes worth watching. There's quite a few games where I've kind of been holding on for about 2 or 3 turns while I look for my pieces, and you can't do that now. Whereas if you do that now and you're playing Tyrell, you've probably lost.
Yeah, like I said, in the game against Ryan, we went into the 3rd plot, and it was just like he was going to win. If I didn't do something, he was going to win there, and like as soon as he had his turn. So you really have to sort of keep on top of the Tyrell players, and they rush so quickly. Sometimes it can be difficult to stop that. Yeah,
that is definitely for sure. It's I've played a bit of that Tyrell Crossing, and if you don't even need to see that many pieces for it to work. That's the really scary bit about it.
Yeah.
Just getting Randall out and you're half the way there, really, aren't you?
Randall away to stand him. That's basically that's half of it done.
Yeah, just all the extra renown that you're getting from it. And like you say, on the crossing turn as well, just put him into the 3rd challenge. He stands and is there waiting to defend anything coming back. So.
But so just looking at sort of the numbers, mainly for Dockside, obviously, Stark did the best for a number of players and to wins, average. That can make sense. Stark seemed to be the faction that did the strongest. Looking at Tyrell's kind of in the middle of the top kind of 8 decks they're highlighting, and it's also there's still quite a mix of what is actually the best Tyrell deck, because you've still got Crossing, you've still got Range, you've still got Kings of Summer, Star and Wolf as like the fruit. So is Tyrell Tyrell's the most represented, but is there really an obvious clear best deck? Or best archetype, at least?
Varied at the moment. I think crossing decks have fallen off because Targs come into the meta heavily, and if you dare go in with that first challenge, if you don't have enough charge, then you are going to potentially lose a big character. I was surprised by Tyrell Filthy being there.
Okay. The deck success, Tyrell Filthy have won quite a bit, haven't they? In fact, if you look at the deck success chart, you've got Stark Filthy, Night's Watch Filthy, Tyrell Kraken, Tyrell Filthy. Tyrell Crossing isn't actually even listed.
Yeah. So I still think it's not it will contrary to popular belief. It's not a deck you can just turn up and you kind of switch off. You still need to really make the most out of every challenge, because one mistake and it can start falling to pieces.
Yeah, I'm looking through the list of people at the moment, and there's quite a few Tyrell Crossing that are kind of around the bottom.
I do love the fact, though, that it seems Lanny is now just playing Reigns. There's very little variation. It's something stupid, like I think there's 12 Lanny players and 9 of them were playing Reigns. Yeah,
Lanny Watch, I think, is the other good one at the moment. I think that's one of the better banners you can pick.
I can see that.
Like, I played against that. That was my stream game, which I believe barely worked while I was on stream.
That one didn't go well.
Yeah, but that's very much a good stuff deck, which is quite powerful.
But that I assume defends the wall and then counters.
Doesn't even defend the wall. It's just you could just put in Corin because he's good. You put in Cresta because if anything goes wrong, use Cresta. You have Cravens. You have Ranging Parties, which are still one of the best cards in the game.
I love that card so much.
You have enough good stuff. You have Dolores Dead, which is always one of.
Actually, that does make sense. Also, looking at the numbers, like Night's Watch has dropped off a bit in popularity, but it's still doing quite well.
The general thing, which
if you look at the top 8 of the Dockside tournament, I mean, there's 4 Stark Filties, but then the next is Night's Watch. You've got Night's Watch Filthy, Night's Watch Crossing.
And they were the 3rd least represented faction, Night's Watch.
Yeah, it just shows that the people that took it seem to have done all right, really. So maybe it's something to watch out for.
We don't have to put much weight in Tamas because Tamas is always going to take Night's Watch Filthy and always win with it.
Yeah, he was winning with it when it was rubbish.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard him say, and this is the general consensus at the moment, is that the Night's Watch box didn't actually do much for the Night's Watch defense build.
No, did very little for it.
So that's why not many people have really come back to it. It's a lot of Night's Watch Winter has appeared, Night's Watch Lion, the variations of that.
Hello?
But not so much of defence has just kind of been the people who were playing it are still playing it. No one else has really jumped onto it.
It is nice that Winter and Crossing is also in the numbers, and that isn't Crossing like it was at Worlds, which actually wasn't Crossing. Or they're both more aggressive decks. But yeah, the actual wall deck, there's been very few pieces that have got you would just slot in, for sure.
Yeah, I've seen a Night's Watch deck this week that I tested against one. That I know someone's probably taking the Euros. That is insane, and it's potentially going to catch people out. Well, I'm not going to explain much about it because it is a really good deck. But there is archetypes in that box that can be played that people aren't prepared for.
It kind of seems a bit like the Lanny box, because the Lanny box was very similar in that the decks you're playing beforehand for Lanny didn't really change. But then you had the Clansman theme, you had this whole intrigue hand destruction theme that didn't really, you couldn't just slot in immediately into the good stuff deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to tech around them, and I think that's better. If that's what all the boxes do, then I'm happy, because even if the house, which is the best house at that time, gets the box, they won't become even better. You're just expanding other areas they can look at to try and improve. I think the Stark one's the only one that really just doubled down on what Stark do.
Yeah, but there's also been this weird thing with the box is that no one immediately cottons on to what's good. No. It takes a while for those decks to appear. Like, it took, I think, about 1 to 2 months for people to look at Winterfell and go, oh, that's a good card.
Yeah.
Like, no one used it at the start.
Everyone, when it's 4 costs, it's too expensive. And now it's pretty much a free of in every start deck. Yeah, no, I agree. It's, it did take a while, because I remember going to a couple of regionals, because that's roughly when it came out, wasn't it? Regional time.
Yeah. And
no one was really using it. Stark wasn't any more common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lanny, Cersei appears in decks at weird points. Like, I never really know what to expect with Lanny decks at the moment because people like to slot her in randomly. You seem to have at least like 2 7-costers in current Lanny decks. It's either Tywin and Tyrion or Tywin and Cersei.
Yeah, Mountain's dropped off a lot.
Yeah, the Mountain's too swingy, I think.
I don't know, I saw a lot of him at the Dockside and I was never happy when I saw him. He's a pain in the butt.
It's fine, when that Martell less than 2 icon theme comes in, he's dead.
That's true.
Unless he kills you first.
Yeah, true, yeah. Which is very thematic, really. So, if we were going to kind of look into our crystal balls and predict, what's the meta going to be at Euros?
Targ will stay about where they are with an increase. The fact that it's in the UK means Targ will probably be heavier than other places because the UK likes Targ at the moment. And Stark will build up.
Because looking at Dockside and storming the Starpike, whatever, the American event, Stark was actually still quite in the lower represented number of decks. All the decks, everyone who took them did really well, but they weren't that represented. Yeah,
it's very much I think it's the deck that people who are playing it know how to play it more.
Right.
And people have got to practice it. It's not Stark is very much not a deck that you can go, all right, I'll take this, I'll do well. You have to actually know what you're doing with it to a certain extent.
Yeah. Okay. Are we still assuming Tyrell's going to be the most common?
I don't. I reckon they'll be tied with Targ.
You think Targ? Okay.
Like, I'm looking at another tournament that's going on today, ZGZ.
The Spanish one.
Yeah, Targ is the most popular there. And what's also a very common theme at the moment is everyone's going mono faction. Like 30 out of 68 players are playing Filthy at ZGZ. Then 11 players are playing Crossing. 8 are playing Reigns. Then it all comes down to the banners.
Yeah, I think I was looking at something recently, and like most deck success is for monofactions. You know, when you're bannering a deck, they tend not to be doing as well. So I think we'll probably see a lot of people, as you say, going back to sort of the monofaction with like Fealty or Crossing, or Reigns. You know, if you're playing Lannister. But yeah, I think that the banner decks are dropping out a bit.
Richard always goes on about how good banner decks are, so I'm not sure why people don't listen to him.
Richard hates banner decks.
I know.
His one word in the podcast.
the other one to look at there, you say actually Fealty Crossing Reigns. It's actually then Winter, Wolf, and then Summer. That's the top six. That's the top six agendas.
I understand the Wolf banner to a certain extent, but it's still inconsistent because people like the Wolf banner at the moment because you got great Harrenhal.
Yeah, because I played against a Targ Wolf deck and that was pretty brutal. And obviously Lanny Wolf and Tyrell Wolf are still pretty strong archetypes.
Yeah. Tyrell are common for banners.
Yeah. Okay, so you think Targ's gonna be oh god, Tyrell's only 4th on this list.
Yep. It seems like they're one below Lanny.
Yeah.
Greyjoy are tied with Lanny.
That's weird. And that's the thing, because Lanny's always going to be there or thereabouts in the top half of deck numbers, because they've got good counters. Treachery is a really good card. But yeah, we still think like Barra's still going to be the least, or down there with Tyrell. Martell, not Tyrell.
I think Martell's going to have a spike. I'm not sure about Baratheon. I think Annals is going to excite a lot of Martell players.
Yeah, that's true. Rich played the Annals one against me last night, and it was pain in the butt actually.
It's
pretty good. It's a pretty good card.
I'm currently making a slight call on Annals in that I might not put it in at least in my current target. If I do a slightly different variation, I might not put it in purely because I expect other people will run it. At which point I put my opponent in the scenario where they go, great, all right, if I flip Annals, I'm giving him 3 Dracarys.
Yeah.
Because if I flip it, then the general thing people do against Targ when they know they've got Drac is go, great, unopposed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at least you get the unopposed challenges, right?
Yeah, it depends on the turn and how far in the game.
Yeah, it's definitely a card which is great. If you build around it, it can be great, but there's certain matchups you kind of almost shoot yourself in the foot by playing it.
Yeah. Hand's Judgment is also going to pick up, and I reckon there'll be about 2 to 3 of in most decks now.
And the great thing, obviously, is if they play the Annuals turn and you've got your Hand's Judgment in the bin, you're fine. Well, not fine, but you've got a counter.
Yeah,
that's the main thing. So I agree.
I was already thinking that Hand's Judgment was already important. I ran it purely for the Tyrell matchup. In that, it's like if they run a Superior Claim Roll Men of Fools, you need a way of countering it because you don't want them to get any power on you. That means they can win faster.
And that's the thing. When I've been playing Tyrell Wolf in particular, All Men of Fools was actually the card that won me most games.
Yeah, I've played against it enough. I hate it when it happens. Thankfully, when I played against Ryan at Dockside, I managed to counter a Superior Claim, which I think probably kept me in the game because he did get to 14 power at one point.
Oof. Wow. Squeaky bum time.
Yeah.
Right, Dan.
Dan. He influences so much of my friend's life. He really does. I hate to say that.
Yeah, he's certainly everywhere, isn't he? Bless him.
I said this when I did the video of Richard. Whenever I build a deck now, I have Dan's voice in my head go, but dude, how's this deck going to win the game?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. It's just like, Dan, get out of my head. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting time because there's no other packs that are going to be for Euros meta now, are they? We're Guarding the Realm is the last pack.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It's 11-day legality, so unless they start shipping it right now.
Yeah. Because I don't think new Mel's really going to make that big a difference to the meta at the moment.
I reckon some people will find clever ways of using her, but probably nothing huge.
The problem I seem to think with her is you're basically giving up the nil package, which I know has been a sub-package now really to dominance, but it's still pretty strong. The other problem is she's competing in a really tough cost slot for Barra, because Bob's pretty good. Both Stannises can be pretty good if you build around them. Selmy's pretty much a good metacal at the moment. Yeah. And I'm not 100% sure. You've got to win dominance, so I don't know. It seems hard without the nil package to guarantee that in some way, especially in some matchups.
I think it's doable. The way I think, I've been trying to build with her this week in that I wanted to build Barrow Wolf, where I was making it more of a control deck in that I was trying to get down Harrenhal as quick as possible and just trying to create a scenario of you play your card, I'm going to kill it. If you keep your card, I'm going to kill it somehow and force your opponent to actually have to show the hand, at which point you can then try and play stuff like Varus and Valor. Just if they do overextend because they're worried, you hopefully control what they want to do.
I also like the idea of playing, playing at Banner to Rose with Much of More, or Gift Arbor Red, whatever you want to call it. Because going, you can take Bob or whatever. You can have that good character. The only issue I have with that is it then does play into Ghost of Harrenhal.
That Ghost of Harrenhal is an issue, but with it. Like, I was also thinking about the idea of whether you run Late Summer Feast with her, in that you put your opponent in this spot, they go, what if I'll draw a card? What if it's a good card I can't play? Oh, I kill it.
That's a really good call, actually, for that deck.
It's a risk play, but it's trying to work out clever ways of using her.
No, that all seems pretty, The attachment, which I kind of rated in my head, got obviously been slated in almost every review. The stand attachment.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Card Game DB completely ripped it apart, and I'm kind of a bit surprised in some respects. I know you're tough looking for slots, but if you're just looking at the dominance package, being able to use your good character and then stand them and have them count for dominance seems pretty good to me.
Yeah, it's 2 gold. I think is part of the issue, and with Barrow, you're kind of hoping you're already winning Dom. This is a bit more of a win more, and the gold you're not really going to have much use for.
There's the event.
But 1 gold doesn't do much for that.
Well, it does. They've got the Relore trait, which I think gives them, doesn't it?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, doesn't it? Okay, there we go. That was the problem. Okay.
Yeah, I looked at it and I was like, if it gives them Relore, it's better. If not...
Yeah, if it gives them, even if it's not a Relore card, if it gives them Relore, that would make the deck a lot better. That would make the card a lot better. Okay, fair enough. Is there any other cards really in the latest pack that you think are going to impact the meta? Because obviously you guys are playing the Night's Watch box meta.
Obviously, Great Hall.
Oh, I love
it's going card. To be everywhere.
That card is so good. In some decks, I should probably put that caveat. Having played a bit of Stark recently, it's almost a no-brainer for Stark. Cause, it's like, what non-uniques am I running? You're running Winterfell Stewards, maybe Tumblestone Knights. Yeah,
I think I'm going to be putting Great Hall in my deck. What would you say is a good a swap out for Great Hall? Like if you're talking your economy locations and stuff.
You typically switch out King's Roads, but I mean there's a weird argument for Stark that you run 12 limited.
Potentially, I also think there's an argument you take out your reducing location, the in-house reducer.
Yeah, I quite like them because you can play and use them immediately, and I'd be a bit reluctant to take out, that sort of ready to use free economy.
You can with the Great Hall as well, though, because basically it pays for itself.
Reduce the location, though, is only works on the character, the reduced location works on everything, which is useful. Yeah. Whereas Great Hall is purely characters or unique characters.
Maybe Rose Roads then.
Yeah, I was debating whether I'd go for Rose Roads or King's Roads, because obviously Rose Roads you have to wait for the next turn to use them, whereas the Great Hall you'd be able to use it immediately. However, the problem with that is sometimes it's good just to have gold, and if you're putting too much faith in the actual economy that's on the board, you might struggle a bit more.
The other problem is unless you've got a 6-cost character, the Great Hall doesn't give you any benefit the Rose Road wouldn't do.
Or it gives you,
because you basically pay a gold, get a gold back. Whereas the Rose Road, you don't pay any gold, and then next turn you get a gold. But so actually, unless you see 6-cost characters, they don't actually make a difference. I went King's Roads, but sometimes having that little burst rather than the just good constant money is better.
Well, there's only one difference though. Like if you're playing typically you're probably using your King's Road for a big character. There are scenarios where not, but if you're doing it for a 6-cost or above unique, it's only one difference but Great Hall lasts every single turn. Whereas King's Road is gone. I
agree. I mean, I've not regretted. There's been practically no games I've regretted having Great Halls in my start decks.
Yeah.
Over King's Road. There's almost no game I've gone, man, I really wish this was a King's Road.
Yeah.
So what would you do then? Would you, for example, just have like, I don't know, would you swap out one King's Road for one Great Hall, or would you replace all the King's Roads for Great Halls? What would you be the better?
I'd say swap all of them out. Like, you could maybe keep, like, I still think there's a good argument to have a bit more limited, so you could maybe keep like one King's Road around, so have like 10 limited.
The thing is with Stark, with Fealty, because obviously that's basically what Stark do, really. You kind of already have that little extra economy, and I've never found economy an issue with Stark.
Yeah. I had a problem with economy while I was like at Dockside, and I came up against a couple of winter decks that were trying to choke me out, and the choke barely did anything at all.
No.
Because they just had all that exposable economy anyway.
Yeah.
That does remind me, slight quick tangent. Rebecca, you'd be very proud of my current Night's Watch deck.
Oh god.
It has 6 Night's Watch cards in it.
Ooh, is it basically a neutrals deck?
It is, but I really want to play Winter, and I went, we're going to play Winter, I really want to have, Meager Contribution, and I thought Messenger Raven seemed like another good card.
Yeah?
And so yeah, it's basically I was playing against on a local games night, and everyone was really confused. So they were waiting for like these Cravens and stuff, and I was just choking them out and playing lots of Wildlings.
They're very, very good cards. So I think I'd be tempted to put Craven in if you're putting a few Night's Watch cards.
No, I set the limit at 6. There is also no in-house reducer for Wildlings, so you know the Messenger Raven is the base of the in-house reducer.
Right.
Oh no, I've lied. I had 9 cards. I also had the White Tree.
Why don't you use Ocean Road? That's an in-house reducer, effectively.
I'm talking about character. I had Ocean Roads. I had 3 Ocean Roads, 3 King's Roads, and 3 Rose Roads. It was great. I had all the economy in the world.
And how's the deck going?
It's 3-0, but as Joe will probably tell you, that isn't necessarily the greatest representation of how good the deck probably is with my local meta. Look, they're really nice guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not necessarily the best representation, unfortunately. But no, it's been fun, and it's quite funny. I think like when you were playing your neutral deck, when you're playing out, they're waiting for these big in-house cards to come, and then by the time they realise you're about 2 or 3 turns in. Yeah,
because I want to play the Martel neutrals deck, and people are like just waiting for like Vengeance Relia and Gaston Grey and stuff like that, and I was just like, yeah, I'm saving 2 gold. People just sitting there cacking themselves like, haha, don't we have it? But yeah, it can be fun with neutrals decks, especially if it's like literally all neutrals and people are just waiting for any form of actual, house card, like faction card coming out. What? And then he's like, no, it's just all neutrals.
Well, as Joe says, well, the Ocean Road is basically it always hits. I'm never sitting there going, oh man, I wish this Ocean Road was something else. Like, no, it's just a good card now.
Yeah, Ocean Road is amazing. It's like you say, it's so good for building decks that are more based on neutral cards. And I found, recently a lot of the Night's Watch, especially Night's Watch winter decks, contain one hell of a lot of wildlings, and they're just running Ocean Roads now. And like you say, barely any Night's Watch cards we even needed because. What do you need them for? Like, the wildlings can do the same thing and if not better in some cases. So, and it confuses your opponent as well. So that they're a good option at the moment, I think.
No, it's nice we're actually getting all these good economy options. To go on a bit of a tangent because it's not just look, there's your 3 Rose Roads, your 3 King's Roads, and your 3 in-house reducer. Okay, you actually now you've got to make some decisions, and by the end of the cycle, when everyone's got their equivalent of Slaver's Bay. These going to be some really tough decisions to make, which is good. But anyway, guys, anything else to think about the current meta? I want to know if we want to play a game, a little friendly wager, of predicting.
I'm going to pass on the wager.
Well, no, it's just no, it doesn't have to be nothing financial, but a kind of predicts. We all need to predict the top 3 factions and which one is going to be the first, second, and third for Euros, and which actual deck type, so which house with banner, will be the most popular.
I just like to say I'm terrible at this kind of stuff. I'm really bad. Richard does that stuff for me, and I just follow. So
you can go third. Ask him.
Richard, if you like.
Well, I was about to say you can go third and just quickly ask Richard what your opinion is then.
I'm going to let Ben go first.
I'll go first, that's fine.
It's your idea.
And I think I'm going to disagree a little bit here with Joe. I actually think Tyrell is going to be the most common. I don't know, I just have this feeling. Big events, I think, people tend to go what they think they can win with. I think Targ will be second, I think Lanny will be third. And I think the most popular deck will be... I'm going to go Lanny Reigns will be the most popular deck.
Okay.
It's not that much variety here really. My only difference is I think it'll be Targ, then Tyrell, then Lanny.
Okay.
And I think the most popular deck is potentially going to be Targ Filthy.
Targ Filthy. Okay, that's quite a few differences there. We can agree on one of them. Rebecca?
I'm gonna go Tyrell, Targ, but I think Stark's gonna get more popular. I think especially after this podcast, which I know everybody's gonna listen to.
The millions of fans who listen to this podcast every week.
I think Stark's creeping up with popularity, and if you look at the statistics recently, Lanny has dropped a lot. So I don't think Lanny's going to be. I mean, it's still going to be popular, but I don't think it's going to be quite as popular, possibly.
Right.
Actual deck, I have no idea. The Targ Filthy. I'll go with that.
I think Stark will be fourth. That's my guess. They'll be very close to Lanny.
Yeah, I think Stark will beat Lanny in popularity, but I think Lanny will be a close fourth in that.
Yeah, I'd say the reverse in my opinion. Only because whenever it's a Euros tournament, everyone goes, I don't know what to play. What can I win with? Right, Lanny's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Lannys all appear around this time of year.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's where, in some respects, I kind of prefer the regional meta, because at regional level, you still it's not always the obvious decks that are kind of the most common.
Yeah.
You still get a bit of variation.
Yeah, especially the amount of regionals we've got in the UK this year. It's going to be quite interesting.
So good, can't wait.
My plan is to try hard first one, hopefully get a mat, then just play fun things the rest of them.
So
yeah.
I'm liking, because I'm planning going to Northampton and currently one person's bought a ticket, so I'm like, there's my store championship buy.
Yeah, I think in all the regionals really we've all been a little bit slow to buy tickets, haven't we? But I know me and Rich are planning on going to a range quite a lot.
I just think it doesn't help where Euros is, and I think basically until Euros is out the way, people are kind of concentrating on that, because it is quite a financially expensive weekend, Euros.
Mm.
You know.
You need to get your entry ticket for the actual tournament. You need to get the ticket for Friday and Saturday at the actual expo. Plus, potentially you need a room overnight if you're going to be staying on for the second day, and you travel and that. So yeah, it's pretty expensive little 2-dayer.
And potentially a third day if you want to do the melee or the team event.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's and I think, but that's. I mean, I have to keep chatting to Liam. I'm like, I'm about to move house, dude. I'll do it once I moved house, please. I'm definitely coming. I've said I'd live stream it. I'm definitely coming.
I'll be buying my Northampton ticket in 2 weeks or so. I'm planning to go to 4 or 5, but you basically buy them a few weeks before, and there's no point rushing.
Yeah, a little bit. Although I know Liam's worried. He's put a fair bit of money down on it. He kind of needs
Liam's probably going to have one of the biggest regionals.
I think he was really worried when Blackwater Bay was announced for the weekend after, and now the Welsh one is the day after, and you can make it a weekender. I think that's going to help him get that back up again.
Yeah, I don't think people are going to be not going to the Bristol regional, because it was really, really good last year. I think it was one of my favourite regionals last year.
Liam always does a good job. It's why he's why he's running Euros and potentially Nationals, or did it last year anyway.
Yeah, I can also understand that for the TOs at the moment, they're having to pay for the venues and things and for the packs, and it's my understanding that they're doing so out of their own pockets at the moment, just waiting to be reimbursed from ticket sales and things.
Pretty much.
I can understand that for them it's, probably a little bit worrying if people are buying tickets. So buy tickets, guys. Help the TOs out.
But I mean, definitely, I'm looking to do 3 or 4 because this is my favourite time of year. I quite like store champs, but at the same time, store champs can be hit and miss. You go to like Bristol, that's 32 players or whatever, and it seems like a really big event, and then your local one is 8, and it seems less fun, and it's like this is just like a games night kit with slightly different prizes.
Yeah.
But regionals, and it's also quite cool to see how it's grown from last year, because like last year Bristol had 32 players for their regional, or 32-ish. And I think their store champ did 30 this year. So how many people are going to... the regionals could probably be even bigger. And it's really cool to see the game is growing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice going to tournaments where there are such a variety of people. And like I was talking to people at Dockside and talking to them afterwards as well. And was all saying how nice it is that, like, obviously we all enjoy the game. But I think the majority of us actually enjoy the social side of Thrones. Like... me and Richard, we'll go to a tournament now in the UK, especially like in the southern half of the UK, and it's weird if there's like more than like 2 or 3 people that we don't know, it's really nice, and it's like seeing old friends every time we go. And I swear to God, I see the Thrones community more than I see my actual friends. It's just really nice to have that kind of like friendship and a community. And I think as you say, it's got so much bigger now recently in the last year. It would be lovely going to regionals and just going to see all your mates and hang out and have fun and play games. So, I think it's going to be a nice, next few months. It's going to be really, really fun.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be like this time next year after L5R's out. Well, that's going to take a few people. Well, because that's going to take a few people away because the games do seem similar-esque.
Yeah, it does. L5R does look really awesome, actually. And I think if I hadn't have already got into Thrones, I'd have been very, very tempted. To I barely have enough time to do all the throne stuff that we do.
Yeah.
So I don't want to have to invest time in another game, and I don't think I can really afford to have invested in another game as well.
So I'm looking at my Netrunner collection, thinking that could basically fund L5R. Because I don't have enough time. I tried getting to Arkham, and I just didn't have time for 3 games.
Yeah.
And
well, no one plays Netrunner anymore, right?
It's only the most popular LCG.
I think at our local games club on a Tuesday night, there's like 2 people that play Netrunner now.
Well, yeah, that's because you're in Northampton. That's awesome. No, they are going off topic a little bit. They are doing a really good job of putting people off playing Netrunner. They're doing a really, really good job of it. Some of their card choices, it's just crazy what they've been doing recently.
Yeah.
But it's just some of the power level's just gone up, and it's just not fun on some of the cards.
Yeah.
So,
It's funny try and encourage you Netrunner guys to join an actual good game, right?
I have been. I really have been. It's really frustrating banging your head against walls sometimes.
A good thing I've learned with the Friends community, like talking to someone who played Netrunner, is that it is so different to in the social aspect. Like there was a guy in our local meta, so we all went for a drink afterwards. It was like, oh, no one ever does that in Netrunner. Like no one ever spends time together outside the tournaments.
It's also really weird the difference in the mindsets between the 2 games. So for instance, obviously Game of Thrones, how many unofficial alt arts do we do? It's just stupid amounts. in Netrunner, which has the same problem. If you want to run 2 decks, there's probably some cards you want in both decks. Alt arts are like, no. You can do your ID, but no other card can be alt art. What are you doing? It's just really weird. Even for casual games, people are like, whoa, what are you doing here? It's really weird, the difference in the mindset. But
I can understand.
The Game of Thrones community is awesome. I think we've come to a pretty conclusive conclusion.
And Thrones is a far better game. But cool. Okay, guys. Anything else to add before we wrap this up?
I'm good.
You're good?
Nope.
Cool. Brilliant. Okay. One thing I should have done this topic straight. One thing I should say, guys, if you haven't seen, I am starting to do weekly live streams, which will be mostly every Tuesday. So if you do want to come along and laugh at me making an awesome play mistake, like not realising it's an intrigue challenge, going to defend a military challenge, and almost having my own Winterfell blown up. Literally the first challenge on the first live stream that happened. Please come along around 8 o'clock UK time, or just hit the channel and you'll see the video up there. I had a lot of fun, and it's something I'm probably going to try and do at least once a week from now on. It's cool. Please join me and laugh at how rubbish I am at times. But anyway, guys, well, Rebecca, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You're now the best person in your household because you've been on the podcast, and Richard hasn't.
Does that mean I beat Richard for once?
You did. And guys, as always, it's been emotional.